Can someone help me with the machine? Oh, okay, that did it. Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Hi Carl. Hi Inez. Hi Mr. Neffler. Thank you everyone for joining me for this meeting that Mr. Neffler, our boss, said I'm allowed to lead, which means no one should be interrupting me. Yes, that means you, Carl. Thank you so much. I know I've only been at this company for 4.5 and another quarter years, but I've learned a lot in this short amount of time, including to never use the copier slash scanner slash printer machine on the 3rd floor. I learned this the hard way. Having your Pinterest bullet journal templates get ruined 6 times in a row really goes to show a girl. As you all know, because of my many memos that most of you have said you read for the past few months, I have been researching a fascinating YouTube trend called A.S.M.R. A.S.M.R. I have interviewed many individuals about this brand new concept to learn as much as I can. You may have noticed the stream of people I've been bringing in and out of the office, but the information I've been gathering is invaluable. In fact, I'm lucky to have had the chance to interview many of these self-professed experts. Today, I'll be presenting my findings, and I would like to pitch to you, my colleagues, a possible article, and maybe even a headline story, which I'm sure you'll agree by the end of my presentation is truly the only possible outcome, and possibly a race, which I can talk to Mr. Neffler about later, but that's just an idea. A great one. Okay, so next slide. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And I know you really mean it since it is completely unprompted. No, Carl, not right now. I'll only take questions at the end. Thank you so much. I have gathered 4 very important sources for this piece, and I would like to walk you through some of them, each of them. And I will also at this time explain some of my in-depth research at this time about A.S.M.R. at this time. Let's get started. Okay, so to start, what is A.S.M.R? It's kind of like sounds, it's nice to look at. It's really interesting and visually appealing. It can make you tired, which a lot of people really like as a feature, and it's really great. Next slide. Who watches A.S.M.R? Everyone. Your best friend, probably you. Mr. Neffler. Okay, next. Would you like to read? No, Clippy, not right now. We'll talk later. Clippy, this is not the time. Okay, here we go. So, for our first example today, I would like to share with you a wonderful example, a perfect example, an exemplary example. This ASMR artist or ASMRtist, which I just coined all by myself, which was very clever of me. I think some of you would say probably even Mr. Neffler, but he would say it out loud. Maybe he would just think it to himself quietly and smile. Well, anyway, this ASMR creator is my absolute favorite ASMR creator, and they go by the name Slight Sounds ASMR. Here, we are being given a treat in the form of hand movements. Hand movements are very popular when it comes to ASMR. They are very mesmerizing to watch and to follow along. Try to follow along with your eyes as you watch my absolute favorite ASMR creator with these hand movements. Look at this. Look what's happening here. It's all happening for you. Now, some naysayers have nay-said into my own personal cubicle as I was busy eating my autumn greens pumpkin salad with honeycomb on the side and black garlic vinaigrette dressing, and they peeked over my shoulder and spied my WIP, that stands for Work in Progress, project, which I said was NYB, that stands for None Ya Business. And yes, I'm talking about you, Carl. That visual aspects aren't very important to ASMR. Well, first of all, you're wrong, Carl. And also, my cubicle is my own space, and just because I don't have a door doesn't mean you shouldn't respect the general concept of a cubicle. And second of all, us mega super fans of the brand new trending concept of ASMR understand that visuals like this are incredibly important. They're an underestimated aspect of this phenomenon, but many individuals I interviewed said they were actually able to experience ASMR merely from visuals alone. Isn't that incredible? My salad was great too, by the way, in case you were wondering. It would have been better enjoyed uninterrupted. But I can buy it again soon. In fact, soon I will be able to buy a free salad on my punch card, my salad punch card, once you buy 6 or 7. Yeah, okay, great. Moving on. So, what is it about this type of hand movements we see Slight Sounds using here that is so delightful? Well, it's hard to explain. On the other hand, it isn't that hard at all to explain when you're a hard-hitting journalist like me, who is surely in line for a race soon. Like ripples on the edge of water's surface, humans find melodic movement to be quite mesmerizing. When your eye is able to easily follow gentle movement, it can put us in like a trance-like state, moving us from the conscious mind to the unconscious mind. Now, we're not talking about hypnosis here. No, sir. No pocket watches to follow back and forth or anything of the sort. We're talking about moving from a state of anxiety to relaxation. In short, the gentle hand movement visual is a key component, not one to be brushed aside as an afterthought. Okay, next slide. In this next example of ASMR trend, you can see and hear my absolute favorite ASMR creator sharing some of the most popular and tingly sounds, such as lids on plastic bottles, the sounds of a comb, and even the concept of giving the viewer personal attention. This creator goes by the name of A.S.M.R. Sharm, and she is a classic example of classic ASMR. One thing I want to point out to you, and just as an aside, Mr. Neffler, this is an idea I would be very easily able to branch out in my full article. If I can please and assuredly get your go-ahead to write it, but is how Sharm uses both sounds the item makes and sound effects she verbally adds to heighten the level of ASMR. Picture in your mind, if you will, a possibly illustrated chart wherein we can see the amount of satisfaction the viewer perceives in an ASMR video with true item sounds alone, and then to contrast and compare the possible perceived satisfaction involved with added sound effects such as these. The effect is, as you would say, off the charts. The hypothetical charts as a figure of speech, not the literal chart that we could feature in the article. Two different charts here. Be sure you're keeping up, Mr. Neffler. As you can see in this display, Sharm is displaying the multifaceted effects and tingly sensations that personal attention can bring to an A.S.M.R. video. Notice this area here. Notice this area. And this. It's very fascinating stuff, all of this. It really makes you think. Now, feel free to make notes, all of you. But I will also have a brief outline to hand out at the end to senior editors and, of course, our wonderful boss, just in case that helps with the headline decision. I don't do this to impress you, of course, merely to inform. What matters to me is merely the education on this important topic. Notice how Sharm is also interacting with the microphone different angles to create depth and range of sound. In this way, we're able to feel immersed. Close sounds are louder and faraway sounds are quiet, as in real life. But Sharm is combining sound made by the object and sounds she herself is making, like a symphony when blended together. Think back to the chart again, not the hypothetical chart, but the illustrated chart that could accompany my article. The measured satisfaction of ASMR is jumping off the page. The reader is thrilled to discover this information, feeling vastly more knowledgeable about this new YouTube trend. Without this article, they would feel uninformed, left behind. However, with it clutched in their hand as a most precious object, they may go on to buy a year's worth of subscriptions for themselves and their loved ones. We're talking worldwide readership. I don't want to get ahead of myself, Mr. Nuffler, but this article could actually be groundbreaking, and I think that's something to consider. I would now like to direct your attention to this next slide. Very impressive, yes? This ASMR creator is my absolute favorite ASMR creator. His name is MattyTingles. Now, you may be thinking, Tingles, where have I heard that before? And you start racking your brain. Tingles, 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 tingles. So familiar, and yet I don't know what it means, even in the slightest. If only someone could explain it to me. It's so weird that you should think that, and that I should verbalize it so plainly and clearly out loud for you. Because I, in fact, know what tingles are, and I can explain it to you. And more importantly, I will explain it to you. Tingles are a phenomenon known well to the ASMR community. The dictionary defines tingles as a confused mass of something twisted together, a fight, argument, or wait, that can't be right. Oh, tangles. Okay, 1 second. Tingles. Okay. Tingles. ASMR is often associated with a pleasant tingling sensation. This tingle, or dizzy dots, is said to originate in a person's head and spread to the spine and sometimes the limbs in response to audio and visual stimulation. The stimuli that trigger ASMR tingles vary from person to person. And so it makes sense that MattyTingles was named this by his parents. The sounds he's making here are in fact very tingly. You'll notice the shoe he's holding. Matty has at least 5 pairs of shoes and shows them very frequently in these ASMR videos. The sounds that these shoes make is very relaxing, isn't it? The distinction of fabric type to rubber or shoelace string, these are all very different sounds entirely. Tapping on the shoes also creates interesting sounds, as MattyTingles shows us so well. Something I've been researching extensively the past few days as well is unboxing videos. I'm sure you haven't heard of this before, which is nothing to be embarrassed about, Carl. Just because you don't know about something doesn't mean any of us here at the office will think less of you. But since I know so much, I can illuminate this situation. Unboxing videos are something that MattyTingles does so well, and many ASMR viewers are enjoying this style of video. In it, the video maker takes us on a journey, one full of whimsy, thrills, and an exciting conclusion. What is inside the box or package? That is what we as viewers are asking. What is it? I must know. I must see it for myself. It feels like a surprise, even when we know what's coming. The reveal is our reward, and we can feel like we're getting to open this special surprise ourselves. It's both exciting and mundane in its conception, and this merger is where ASMR tends to excel. If you ask me, as a researcher of trends, I can tell you that unboxing videos are likely to become very popular in the future. That's the kind of insider information that I could share with this special headline piece, Mr. Neffler. Next, I would like to show you one final example of my research into the brand new phenomenon of A.S.M.R. Please direct your attention to this screen. Here you can see my absolute favorite ASMR creator, Jocie A.S.M.R. Watch very carefully here. Do you see this? And what's this? What's happening here? Now please, hold your applause until the end of my presentation. Thank you so much. But really, let's look at this. Jocie B is utilizing a fascinating aspect of what makes this new trend of ASMR so great. Personal attention to the viewer to create an immersive environment. Are you writing this down? Well, that's nice, and thank you for doing that. And notice this. Notice this. Notice this, question mark. Many ASMR viewers like to feel as if they're really there in person, like hanging out with a friend or a loved one, or being at a spa, getting a haircut. The list is endless. Okay, maybe not endless, Carl, but there's a lot of different scenarios that are frequently depicted in ASMR videos due to their comforting nature. And it truly is comforting, isn't it? Let's look closely. What's comforting about this? Feeling cared for, feeling doted on. This is something our readers are looking for and want to learn about. I know that this is a lot of information to absorb, so please try not to let this overwhelming feeling of being impressed with me cloud the decision-making part of your brain. That part is key at a moment in time like this. Notice the gentle lighting in this video as well. It suggests a warm and friendly tone. Thank you all so much for paying such close attention to my presentation. Before I end, I would like to ask you, exactly what kind of media outlet do we want to be? One on the cutting edge of trends, predicting what's going to be popular, or the kind of media outlet that focuses on whatever lackluster article Carl was putting together and ultimately losing readership, funding, and probably the building we're standing in, sitting in. Well, I'm standing, you get it. I think that we want to prove to our readers that we're cool, we're hip, we're with it. We know about the internet, right, Mr. Neffler? Yeah. Is he still here? Can somebody find out? I thought I saw him. That's so weird. Okay, next slide. Oops. How did that get in here? That's weird. Next. Oops. Next. Thank you everyone for your time. Enjoy your afternoon. You all have my email, so you can leave your comments down below. Thank you. Can somebody turn this off?